Hello and welcome to the channel. This is a 20-minute video. It's a 20-minute moan, I suppose. It might last for about 40 minutes, but one day we'll get it to last 20 minutes, the 20-minute videos. So what I'm going to moan about today, well, today, so we're going to walk down here. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do my usual walk because they're working on the road down there. So I was kind of thinking maybe I can sort of walk within the wooded area, you know, and avoid being at risk of breaching health and safety rules, laws or whatever. I'm not exactly sure, exactly. Right, so what I'm going to moan about, well, the boxing, the female boxer, all sounds a bit silly really. What are you going to moan about that for? Well, I'm going to moan about Craig Houston. So, if you look him up, what is he, a political commentator? He's a unionist, he's a Rangers, he's a Glaswegian, probably, a Rangers fan. So it's quite entertaining. I quite like watching his videos. I have done for a year or so. And see, there's them there. Right, so that's normally where I walk. So I don't know how this is going to work. I don't think it's going to work at all. But yeah. So basically, it's about Emane Khelife, and he's jumping on the bandwagon. He made a video, and I've kind of I challenged him once before about the transgender thing, that thing, and I kind of felt it's not really a sort of thing that your average ordinary person really wants to get into, really, I suppose, or it's a bit of a odd. I suppose is it an odd topic? Is that what it is? So I don't really want to be that person that keeps going on about it, because I'd rather try and avoid it. But at the same time, there is some basic kind of truths that have to be said. For a start, I mean, I don't condone or agree with the LGBT ideology. This is what it is. So I'm sort of trying to distance myself from that, having been kind of loosely involved with it for a while. So I'm trying to get away from that. So that's why I don't want to talk about this all the time, which what I'm talking about right now is that. And it's not really that. That's the funny thing about it. It isn't that. So JHK Rowling and Elon Musk, I don't know if it's Elon Musk or not, but has tried to there's a dog. I'll have to wait for this lot to go past. Tried to
Hello.
Hiya. So tried to where the hell was I? Right, so it's a trans story, but it doesn't have trans in it. That's how ridiculous it is. And I believe he's fallen for it. And the reason he's fallen for it, I'm actually really disappointed in him. I suppose it's just that thing when you kind of think you like somebody, and the reality is there's something will happen. And the reason is, I'm a unionist as well, and or I don't like the SNP and everything like that, so that's why I like watching his videos. And a similar thing happened to me in Hubnut. I used to watch all Hubnut's videos, Then he really fucked me off once. And I realised he was a tosser. The guy was a tosser. So I never watched any of his videos ever since. It's like kind of like a moral. Maybe people do that with me. You know, maybe I touch somebody's moral thing somehow, and you know, or it's a no-go area or something. Of it, you went too far with something. I imagine I probably have. I'm bound to have done. It's absolutely inevitable that would have happened at some point. I'm just going to tighten up my lace. So, what it is this Emane Khelife is a female boxer. So JHK Rowling, well, the Italian boxer that she beat, claimed she was a man. A man, as in a male. And so it was the Russian boxing, some Russian sponsored boxing federation complained about her, and that was after she beat their Russian boxer, female boxer, in the women's boxing. And so she'd passed all the tests for the Olympics. So when you try to break down what this argument's about, like, so I don't know if Craig Houston really did. Well, I think he did. So he fell for. This is why I'm annoyed at him. And I did leave a reply on it. I commented on it. Quite a good comment, I think. But we'll see. So what it really is they've tried to push a trans narrative. That's what JHK Rowling's been trying to do. So this Emane Khelife is a woman. She's a bit masculine looking. Glasgow Celtic. She's a bit masculine looking, it has to be said. And so they're claiming she's got XY chromosomes. XY chromosomes. So all of a sudden, oh shit, I can't even believe what happened there. The bloody bag blew over and landed on the That's unbelievable, that was. The bag blew over and kind of landed on the phone. Couldn't make that up. So all of a sudden, these women, and most of them are men as well, and men, have become experts in chromosomes. You know, and to be quite honest with you, I don't really know anything about chromosomes. And I'll bet you a pound a penny they don't either. So, but I do know a little bit about it, and I think so what he's saying is he wants to keep. He ended his piece, his video. Craig Houston, we're back to him again. He ended it saying, basically what he does at the end of his videos, he'll say something like, you know, basically he's wishing the best to people that agree with him, really. So what he's saying is, if you believe that men should be kept out of women's sports, you have a great evening, sort of thing. You know, and well, but Emane Khelife is a woman. You know, it's like, what the fuck, you know? So the whole thing is just, it's annoyed me because he doesn't know she's not a woman, and JHK Rowling and all these lot are going with this notion or theory that she's a man, right? But I don't think there's anybody really saying that. I mean, even the Russian Boxing Federation didn't say she was a man. So, right. So my plan was to walk around there. Well, the traffic's still going. Look. The traffic is still going. So basically, I can't go through there. Let's see if we can get around here. So what I said to him, and this is, I believe this is quite profound what I said, but I don't think it will go down very well. I said, what I said was, how do you know, and this is a good point about this, how do you know, basically, that your wife isn't a man? You know? It's quite a reasonable point to make. Because basically what they're saying is that she's a woman, but she's got male chromosomes. Right? So how does Craig Houston not know that his wife could be a man? A male? If going by that logic, that is. Of course, we know that is stupid. I mean, obviously, if you've got a cervix and all these parts, and you can have, it's not. You've got to be careful how you word these things, because, you've got to. There is women that can't have children. That's what I mean, right? There is women that can't. They're not capable of having children because there's some kind of problem, right? So you can't say, you're not a woman if you can't have children. So that you get into all these different things, and wow, there's quite a lot of wood in here. So that's really what it is. How do you know? So on that basis, see what it's like a type of OCD, whereas she's hated trans women being in this JHK Rowling in women's sport. So now she's pushing the boundaries out to include a woman who has male chromosomes. You know, it's like you're really getting too much into it, and you should really stop. And of course it's easy for that guy, that Craig, to sit there and repeat that shit. It's easy for him to do that because he's not invested any thinking into it. He's just made a video. And I think it's pretty poor journalism, if you like, if he thinks he's a journalist. I don't know if he is or not, but he's as much a journalist as I am, probably. That so it remains to be seen. I mean, she's passed all the tests already. It doesn't remain to be seen, actually. And I mean, I've met a lot of women in my life that I know women that are masculine. I think everybody does. So I think this thing has just gone ridiculous, and it's annoyed me because he hasn't really given it any thought. He's just thought, right, so, like, for example, both my grandmothers, they're both Protestants, right, so not Catholics. They both had like 7 children each, right? So now, women don't even bother having children. So then they go into fucking boxing. They shouldn't be boxing, they should be having children. Or maybe Emane Khelife can't have children. Is that how we like quantify if somebody's a woman or not? Have they had children? It's like, fuck, it's like, where are we going to go with this stupid argument? I mean, who wants to be a boxer? Like, the little girl, what do you want to go when you grow up? What do you want to do when you grow up, darling? I want to be a boxer. It's like, what the fuck? It's fucking stupid. And then to argue about it. And basically, because she got beat, that's the only reason all this started. Because she got beat. The Italian boxer got beat. That's why she's fucking moaning about it. Complaining. And the Russians complained about it. Simple fact. Got beat. And then this. So, I don't know what he's going to say to me. It might be that I'll get blocked or something. He might just ignore me, of course. Probably safer. Probably would be safer just to ignore me. Probably pick up some of this stuff here. It's not actually ideal, it's a bit damp. There's loads of wood here. pine cones actually, but isn't any in here. Pine cones! So he's sitting there in Glasgow with his dado rail right behind him. I see I'm actually getting personal now. I think it's that thing when you think you like somebody. I don't know him. At the end of the day, he's monetised. He'll be out there and make money. I'm not making money out of this. So it's different, isn't it? Maybe that's an advantage I've got. You know, like that fact that I'm not making money out of it could be an advantage. I'm not doing money out of YouTube. Oh, that's all fence. There's also this part of the past here. When you see all this, I know it's just, you probably think, what the fuck are you talking about? It's just a wood, you know. There's nothing to see here, but the past, you know, it's here. It's not really up to much all this crap, to be honest. I'm just sort of like, don't know why I'm doing this. I'm just trying to relieve nervous energy. It's probably what I'm doing. So I just think the whole thing's really unfair. Well, you know what, I forgot to mention what really annoyed me about it. So he called her it. Ignorant bastard, like, you know, she's a she. But why would you want to call her it? So is that his attempt at not offending being offensive? Is that his solution to not be offensive? Call her it. You know? I was like, how ignorant is that? That's just pure ignorance, that. Do you know? So maybe he is a complete arsehole. You know, maybe that's what he is. You know, maybe I'm getting it wrong. Trying to make out he's alright and all the rest of it when he isn't. He's just a dickhead. You know, calls her it. I mean, I would call her she. Well, I do call her she because, as far as I'm aware, she's a female. She's always been a female. And so really, what's he really saying, this guy, this Craig Houston? What's he saying, that he trusts the Russian Boxing Federation? You know, I mean, I know I don't trust Keir Starmer and the government and globalism and all that shit, but does that mean I'm going to turn round and decide that I'm going to trust a bunch of Russians? I don't think so. Do you? I don't think that's a good idea. Right. There we go. Right. So, we've made it. There's a new tar. Oh! And they're dumping tar here. So I'm not in their building site. I'm out on the edge of it. So that's the there. Set up for access. A big crane, oh look at that crane. Wow, Forsyth. Yeah. Right. Oh shit, get away from here. Right. So that was that. Yeah, so you called that it. She's, you know, it's like, fuck. They really haven't thought it through, the dangers of this. And it all started, kind of started with the, with the, you know, the sort of, the feminist thing. That's what it all started. So that's when it all started. Are we up to 20 minutes yet? Oh. No. Maybe I must be near it. I've got some sticks, they're not very good, but they'll burn. So it's part of the exercise then, really. You know, part of the exercise. Now we'll get back up the hill. Yeah, so it's just the whole thing. Maybe it's like, oh, why don't you just ignore that shit? You know, why don't you just ignore it? It's a lot of crap. And I don't know, why don't I just ignore it? Well, so we've got a woman who's a boxer, and they're saying she's not a woman. Well, they're not saying that, that's a weird thing. They're saying she's got XY Chromosomes. Apparently she's got, I think it's just like a conspiracy theory thing, isn't it? Oh, she's a man, she's got a penis and everything like that. Well, she doesn't. You know, well, I don't know if she does or not, do I? How would I know? Is this the thing? Have we got to go about checking people? You know, I doubt they'll pay any attention to what I've said, but the ramifications of it are, you know, I think JHK Rowling really needs to shut up, and in my opinion I don't think she's doing any good for women's rights whatsoever. So I'm into human rights, you know, men and women. I'm not really into women's rights because I think that's detrimental to men's rights. Even the word woman, man, it's in it. So I think there's a pernicious attempt. It's a reaction to the LGBT ideological movement, which includes a trans movement. It's a bad reaction to that, I think. And feminism, as far as this is my understanding of feminism, it's a kind of form of communism. It's based on equalising unequal. So everybody's equal. It's communism. So the example would be the boxing. So you're a woman in the boxing, and this boxer's better than you. So you want it equalised by having the other boxer cancelled, so that the other boxer gets the medal. So then you're into women's sports. So what's women's sports? When did that start? You know, and you know, when did all that come about? When? The 1930s. Like I said, both my grandmothers had 7 children each. Maybe more actually. They didn't have time to play boxing. You know, they didn't have time to play golf, whatever, all that stuff. So, as a result of us being so wealthy, So then they're trying to. So what he's doing is, this guy. He thinks. Well, I don't know if he has thought much about it. That he's trying to protect women's spaces by. I just find the whole thing so incredibly. I find them so stupid. They're not exactly stupid. They just don't give a fuck. It's a bit like the men. I don't know his circumstances, but they kind of go along with that stuff if the wife tells them to. You know. So I suppose there's part of that. If they're living in this heteronormative relationship, that's fine. That's a good thing. You know. I could soon poke holes in it, I reckon. You know, I could soon find faults with it all. If I really did have a look. Something like, have they had any children? You know, have they? No. So what the fuck? So you're sitting telling me, or telling the whole world, what they should be doing, but you haven't even produced any children to carry on our species. When Western civilization's on decline, we need babies. You're trying to tell us all that we're all fucking wrong. That boxer's not a woman. You know, you're an expert. How many children you had? Well, see, I always trump people with that one, because I've had 5. Even though I made a complete arse of bringing them up. But, I suppose that's why I always bring it up. Because there's very few can beat me with it. I have met some, not that many, you know, who've had like 7 children or something. Because the majority of people only have like 2. That's your typical Western family. They have like 2 children. Or 1. A lot of it's because they want an Audi. You know, so you have 7 children, you can't afford an Audi. That's really what it's for. So I hope he comes back with a good answer, because I do sort of like the guy, right? And I like his stuff. At the end of the day, you've got to stand up for what you believe in. He thinks he's standing up for what he believes in, and I think he's totally wrong. And I think JHK Rowling's totally wrong. I don't know about Elon Musk. I mean, does he? I mean, one of his children's went trans or something, and I don't even know anything about it, but I think his ex, whether you're whether you're the richest man in the world, or some divvy that lives in some flat in St Ninians, sorry about people who do live there, there is some non-divvies that live there, your ex, and even if you do own ex, your ex will use the children against you. That's what they do. It's completely and utterly normal. It's wrong, but it's normal. As in, it happens. So, I would suggest that she's probably doing that to him, to hurt him. The mother of the transgender child that Elon Musk has, would be genetic male, turning female. So I think that's probably what's happening there. Probably. I was kind of thinking about just going to have a look at this building site and we'll call it a day. This is why I haven't stopped filming yet. I don't know if the 20 minutes is up. Probably is. So Elon Musk, he's a very clever guy. I like him. Again, I really like him. But so they want to keep, so they also go for votes, like Donald Trump. Get the women's vote, you see. So a lot of it's political. Whereas I don't really think in political terms, which is a bit of a problem that I have. That I maybe don't think about the ramifications of things that I say or do, and I'm fortunate enough that it doesn't hugely matter, although it may do. So like, I'm going to an art event. Well, it's not an art event, but I'm going to be an artist at this place down in England, Swindon, in September. So I have to sort of behave myself to a certain extent. You know, it's a fairly conservative sort of situation, but in that it's not like it's not run by the art people, because they're very leftist types. So I have to be careful about what I say. But I think one of the sort of advantage I've got is I do this as a hobby. You know, it's just a bit of fun. And so there we are. Can you see that? It's not getting dark yet. Sight huts and everything up there. Dumper truck, could get a shot of that. Wheelbarrow, could help ourselves to that. What we do, we'd put that thing. Yeah, I am joking, of course. Well, I mean, the police aren't going to come out, are they? If I was to say something on Twitter, they might come out. Like, I wouldn't even say what I'm thinking, or what I've got in mind. You know, about. I mean, the lady got locked up for 15 months or so, quite a long time, and I think it was quite severe. But the thing that she said, well, look at that fucking thing. Good electric van. That's despicable. Waste of. It's a real waste of resources. But what happened was she got locked up for 15 months. Main entrance, Bannockburn. And for saying something about a mosque, which she shouldn't have said. It was appalling, but oh, look at all the bunnies. Fucking hell, there's hundreds of them. Bloody hell. Bunnies. So, I think it was severe. I wouldn't have locked her up for 15 months for that. No. I think that was really severe. A lot of the bunnies will be about here. You can see the bunny habitat. So I think it was time we called this video to an end. Yeah, I mean, what the hell am I talking about? So to sum it all up, you should really, given that woman, so they're trying to make a trans narrative out of that, and there isn't one there. And they know they've been told there's not one there, and they're still going with it. You know. So I think he did a bad thing, pushing that and repeating that. But maybe his core fan group are all ignorant and stupid. You know, maybe that's what the thing is. You know, I'm not talking about Elon Musk, I'm talking about Craig Houston. I mean, Craig Houston's the sort of guy that lives not that far from here, probably, and I could probably meet him and he'd be normal. I'm not going to meet Elon Musk, am I? When we go to Lidl's. Well, who knows? Elon Musk might turn up. You know. And then, well, that would be good for my channel, wouldn't it? But, you know, I think it's just, it's a lack of investigation, low moral compass. Going for the easy option is what he's done. And not really examined the situation. Done any research. So it's quite a big, you'd have to do quite a lot of research. You'd have to understand a lot about boxing, for a start, which I don't really know much about. You'd also have to, get into sex and gender. You'd have to get into science, the scientific side of it, not the social science. I'm talking about. So I met this lady at the car boot, 69. I got on really well with her. Her name's, doesn't matter what her name is. And she had a basic understanding of the difference between males and females on a scientific basis, not the LGBT nonsense, not all that crap. The fact that men and women have breasts, what she said. And this is a woman at a car boot sale, just an ordinary woman, and she had that understanding that we're, you know, that we're not miles and miles apart. We are biologically different. You know, so to have an understanding of all that, and an awareness, and get grounded on that. Instead of, I think what we're getting, I think probably because he's from Glasgow, this is I'm in central Scotland right now, and that's where my family come from. Well, my dad's family. There was a Presbyterian side to it, so we did get banished. The really radical Presbyterian types got banished to Ulster, you know, or America. So they were just really religious, very right wing. So there's a prudish thing in Scotland, I would say, in Britain as well, in Great Britain. There's a prudish element, whereas there's taboo subjects when we kind of talk about it. And I think that's at play with him, and with this gender thing. Remember, gender is a different word from sex. I think that's what's at play here. Well, a lot of these, like that man, he's a man. He's probably got a wife. He's straight. He's a decent enough guy, nice enough guy. But I think his thinking's listening to him, I don't think he's really getting out of the box enough. Maybe it's easier for me to think outside the box, because I'm fucking odd, you know, and I'm a weird sort of, well, I was a man and I changed my gender, you know, so I've had all that to cope with, and I've done all these different things, and it's been really tough and really difficult, but I don't really, you know, I don't want to come across as this sort of nutter that, I don't want to force my views on anyone. I want to go with sort of scientific views. So the scientific view is that boxer is a woman, and the Russian Federation have tried to make out she's not, and it only because she beat their player, and she actually looks a bit like him. She looks masculine, and I've met tons of women like that, loads of them in my life. I've even fucking slept on them, right? And that's just life. That's what humans are like. If you're really down to this chromosome thing, you'd have to be a really, really female, you know, and I think you could probably imagine what I mean. A female, one that's very feminine, you know, and, you know, going around here in Scotland, a lot of women are ugly as fuck here. Look at Nicola Sturgeon. Right, well, it's two prime examples. Nicola Sturgeon, and there's that lady from Northern Ireland. She'll be an Ulster Scot. She'll be the same kind of roughly geographical origins as myself. Is it Arlene Foster or something? She looks like fucking hell. She looks like she'd punch fuck out you. She doesn't look like a woman at all. So, you know, if we're really going to start getting into this, that's where it's going. You know, and it could be there'll be a man somewhere, there'll be men here who've married, going by their logic, other men. Does that mean they can go and then null the marriage? They didn't realise they had XY chromosomes? You know, can you see how fucking nuts it is? So please, get your fucking thinking caps on. If you've got this far, think about it. Stop being stupid. Yeah, we know women need rights and all the rest of it. But not if it means fucking ridiculous shit. No. So, I'm leaving now, I'm going. Thanks for watching. Like, share and subscribe. I've been ranting quite a bit. Well, it is a 20-minute moan. I'm away. Bye! Remember, like, share and subscribe.